Hey everyone, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming. Hope that you're having a wonderful day and happy Monday to everybody who might be watching this live. On this video tutorial, I'm going to show you this new t-shirt that I'm working on, and then I'm going to give you a little preview of some orange stenciled pillows that I'm working on, and then I have some more new products from Magnolia design company that I want to show you. So this is what the t-shirt is looking like at this point, and I'm going to show you all how I did it. I really wanted to use some of these. I had a bunch of jelly rolls, in all these awesome blue fabrics. Some of them I picked up, some of them were given to me by some of you guys. And so I had a blue t-shirt, and that is how I decided what I was gonna do. But we'll come right back to this in just a second, okay? Pretty cute sleeve, huh? And it was super easy. So I'll show you everything about that. Let's see. All right, so let me give you a preview of the pillow sleeves that I'm working on right now. I'm using that Mandala lace stencil, which is from magnoliadiy.com, which reminds me I need to pin a link here. My phone doesn't like my thumb very much. There we go. Okay, so this was the first one that I started working on. I'm going to do something interesting to it. I'm not sure what just yet, but this is the start of one. This is a big, I think it's 18 by 18, or it might be 24 by 24. I can't remember, but the pillow sleeve and the ink and the stencil are all from magnoliadiy.com. And then here's the lumber pillow that I'm working on. And I'm going to do something in the center here, some words right here. But right now, they don't have any of this color of ink. It's called pumpkin ink. So the second it comes back in, we'll do this project as a Facebook Live. I'll finish it up and I will let you guys know. The color is amazing. So as soon as pumpkin ink comes back, if you want to do anything for fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving, you definitely need this color. Okay, then let me show you just a few things that I got, and we'll jump into the t-shirt. And I see lots of you guys hopping on. Thank you for joining me. As you're hopping on, say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're just joining us, we're gonna do this really cute t-shirt that has 3 layers of a ruffle that we're just gluing to the sleeve. It's gonna be super cute. And I'm showing you a little preview of some of my new Magnolia DIY products. So, okay, so here's one new stencil that just came this afternoon. It says underneath here, it says Waymaker, Miracle Worker, Promise Keeper, Light in the Darkness. My God, that's who you are. I love this verse, this stencil. Okay, here's another one. I may do this on that lumber pillow. It says Grateful, Thankful, Blessed. And then you have a variety of different pumpkins and leaves, and it's just really nice. I'm excited about this. I'll probably do something with that this week. Okay, then I also got this stencil. It's big. The other one is too. They're both 12 by 18. And it has all these fun fall words that to me remind me of that Ray Dunn font, like autumn, y'all, leaves, patch, football, spice, bonfire, pie, family, Thanksgiving, thankful, gather. There's a lot of great words on here. And I'm thinking that I'm gonna do some ceramics and possibly some tea towels, and I don't know, I think there's a lot of different things that you could do with this. We could even do a book project with this. That would be super cute. In fact, it would be even cuter if we could do it in fall colors on those white books from Dollar Tree. on the spine and then do some design on the top front book cover. So that's a really cool stencil. I'm glad to have that. Then this is a Christmas one that I am not buying a ton of Christmas stuff right now, but I couldn't resist it for the bottom half of this. It says, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, and then down in the bottom it has Hallelujah, which I love. So I'm sure we'll do a Christ in crafting using this, and I'll just see what the Lord tells me to share about that word Hallelujah. Okay, and then the last thing I want to show you is the thing that I've been dying to get my hands on. It's the set of, they're like paintbrush style squeegees. And they all have different tips. So let me show you what they look like. Here's how they come. They're around $9 or $10 for 5 of them. Each one has a different kind of a tip. Can you guys see that? There's one. And these are going to be great for those stencils that have a lot of detail, where you maybe want to use different colors of chalk paste or ink on them, or when you make a boo-boo and you need to clean it up. So, and then there's this one. So I think that these are going to be great, and they make a great addition to the squeegees, which let me show you what those look like. These are super nice. I always cut them in half because they come kind of big. They're $2.50, and they're flexible. They're a flexible, nice, thick plastic that makes it good for putting chalk paste or ink or whatever you're using on top of a stencil. So these are going to be my go-to tools from now on. Alrighty, let's go to the t-shirt. If you're just hopping on, the project we're doing is a t-shirt that says, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." And it has a jelly roll. It has little sleeve ruffles made out of jelly roll pieces. And I believe the t-shirt itself, I believe I got it at Target. I think it was in the men's department. I was wanting a dark color, and I believe that it was $6. I bought a large, and it fits me just perfect. So before I came live, you know, I don't ever try something for the very first time live. I usually work through all my crafts at least once before I come live to show you how to do it, so I can tell you what to do and what not to do, and so I can give you an idea of what the completed project is going to look like. So I've already stenciled this, but I'll tell you how I did it, and then we'll do the other sleeve. Okay, so let me put my phone down a little bit. Okay, so this was just easy peasy. These stencils from Magnolia DIY.com make everything so easy. All I did was I took my stencil off the backing. You don't have to fuzz these when you're going to be using them on fabric. I laid it on here. I used some of this white ink, also from Magnolia, and a squeegee, and I just pushed it through the holes on the stencil. And it looks sort of, I don't know how to describe it, watercolor-ishy or something. And I really like that effect. I don't know if I've ever stenciled with a light color on a dark fabric, but I'll hold this up close so you can see. I like how it looks. Can you see how it's not like completely solid? Okay, so that was the first step. Let's put this stuff aside. The next step was a little bit harder for me to figure out because, where is my needle? Did I knock it on the floor? Oh, dang. Okay, hang on. I probably did. I probably knocked it off. Wait, is this it? Yes. Okay. The first step was a little bit harder for me because I had to figure out what I wanted to do in terms of a ruffle, where I wanted to put it on the sleeve, and how many pieces of this jelly roll, the long strips, I wanted to use. So I decided with this blue t-shirt that I love this. This is my favorite one of all the blue and white. Okay, so I loved that. I love this dark, small polka dot for the layer in between. And then let's make sure we get the right one. I think it's this. And then I like this one a lot too. So, what we are going to do basically is we're just going to start at one end, and I'm essentially going to pin the pieces together. So there's two, and here's the third layer. And you do need to pin them because they're going to kind of want to go wonky. So let's start doing that. And I'm just using some little sewing ball head pins. You can use whatever you have. Okay, so I kind of just eyeballed the distance that I wanted between the different layers. And it does not have to be perfect because you will never be able to tell when you have them all ruffled up on your t-shirt. Okay. We're just going to continue working down this and pinning it. And then I'm going to show you the next step, which is super easy. There's no actual sewing for this project. There is a little basting stitch that you're going to do to be able to pull it up into a ruffle, but I'll show you how to do that in case you've never done anything like that. It's super easy. Anyways, we had a really good Christ and Crafting yesterday that I wanted to tell you guys about, and encourage you, if you didn't see it, to click on the videos button here at DiyDreaming and watch it. We talked about that Matthew verse that says, with God all things are possible. And we talked about how sometimes little snippets from the Bible get a little hijacked or corrupted, you know, or twisted to tell us what we want it to say. And we talked about how that verse, it was something that Jesus said to the disciples about how it had so much more significance as it was originally intended than how we like to, oops, one's a little short, oh well, how we like to use it. So I encourage you to click on my videos and take a peek of that if you didn't get to see it already. Plus we had some fun projects. Let's see, I'll show you. Okay, we made little food risers out of breadboards, and we just put some cute little feet on them. These are just little bun feet from Hobby Lobby, and this was a natural colored breadboard from webrestaurant.com. And then this was the big one that we did. This is a new breadboard with a blackboard that MagnoliaDIY.com carries. And we did this stencil on the side, and we talked about using it with some treats or, you know, cheese and crackers or whatever. And then I showed the idea of having a big bow on it. Can you guys see that? Anyways, it was a good live. And you guys, I've gotten a ton of questions about this lately. Let me just bring my camera back up here. I mean, like a ton of questions. I think this was a Christ and Crafting that I did, a couple of months ago, where, and these people have asked me, how tall are they? They're 5 inches tall. These are letters from the Porch Sitter stencil set, also from MagnoliaDIY.com, and there's a link at the bottom. Oh gosh, I should have also gotten the new, or maybe I just ordered them. I'm thinking out loud. The new little things, the seasonal things that you can use with the Porch Sitter set. Anyways, so I think this was the live, the Christ and Crafting that I did, where I talked about how it's hard here on Earth because we were not created for this to be our final destination, and we're in between two gardens. So it's home, but it's not our home. And our home is with the Lord for eternity. And I talked about how this time here is just a little blip, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, but so a lot of you guys have asked me about this. This is just a piece of pine from the hardware store that I stained, and then I stenciled it, and I tied this little piece of yarn around it, and it's just propped up sitting here on my desk behind me. And so there's lots of different things that you can do with that set. Okay, so I have this all pinned together. You can see what it looks like from the back. Okay, and all we're going to do is we're going to use a basting stitch. Uh-oh, get this all tangled up. Okay, I just threaded a whole bunch of white thread, and I chose white because the top layer is primarily white. So I did want it to kind of blend in. Let's start at the other end. And I'm going to be stitching midway down far enough to catch all 3 layers, okay? And all I'm going to do to get started is okay, so I basically just have it one time through. And then to do a gathering stitch or basting stitch is super easy. I like to use a long, skinny needle. And let me put my glasses on so I can see. This is all the sewing that you're going to be doing. So it's not hard. And you're just going to go, I'll show you up close in just a second. In and out and in and out and in and out. You can do a whole bunch of them all at once because you have this really long needle. And they don't have to be a specific distance apart. Okay, so this is what I've got right now. And I'm just gonna push my needle through. And pull it out. And you can see that this is how you get your ruffle, is you just pull it tight when you're ready. I don't know where my camera is right now. I'm having a hard time with this. Okay, so let's keep going. And I'll go as quick as I can, and then I'll show you how I attached it to the sleeve. So talk amongst yourselves. And if you're if you want to look at any of those new things or those new paintbrush squeegees, I did pin a link to magnoliadiy.com at the bottom of this page here in the comments. So you can click on that and it'll take you straight there. You don't have to type anything in. It's hot in my office. It's hot in my office, or alternatively, I'm having a hot flash. It's probably a combination of both. I'm gonna go turn on my fan. So you can see when you just pull on this, it will gather all of your fabric up, and then you're gonna measure how wide your sleeve front and back is. And we're going to use some parchment paper inside of our sleeve so that we don't glue our sleeve shut. And we're going to use this glue today. It's from Hobby Lobby. It's called Fabric Fuse Quick Bond Fabric Adhesive. It was pretty easy to do the first sleeve with that. I was tempted to get out my hot glue gun and use the fabric hot glue, but then I remembered how much it hurts to get burned with that stuff, because that stuff is really hot. So this was a better, safer choice for me. Okay, and my stitch may not be exactly straight, but that doesn't matter as long as I'm catching all 3 layers. So I am so excited because I'm getting ready to do a big, I don't know, makeover of our main floor of our house. I'm changing all the colors and getting all of my walls and trim painted. And anyway, so today I went to the fabric store just to look at what they had, and I have a good friend who's helping me figure this all out. But we're gonna get our kitchen cabinets painted, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited. We've needed to do that forever. So right now they're sort of a maple color and it's just dark. So I'm going with a creamy white from Sherwin-Williams that's called Squeegee White. And I'll show you guys once I get a little bit further along, I'll show you guys pictures of the fabric that I'm picking and the colors, and I may even show some pictures of the progress. I'd be embarrassed to show you right now because it just looks so dated. Okay, so I'm gonna just cinch this up a little bit and keep going. And I cannot see what your comments are saying while I am trying to do my basting stitch. I'm sorry. I will answer questions as soon as I'm finished with this project and get off of this live. So feel free to leave questions or comments. Feel free to sprinkle also. I always forget to say that. If you want to, if you have friends that like crafts that you think might like to see this t-shirt project or any of the other stuff that we do here at DiyDreaming. And I really have to have this whole thing cinched up before I can put any of it on the sleeve, so I'm sorry it's taken so long. I'm hurrying. And you can see that my stitch length is not super narrow. Ow. Come on. Let's take this out. Looks like there's about 300 people watching, and I'm being quiet because I'm concentrating, so this shouldn't take too much longer. I'm almost at the end. And then comes the part where you really have to think. I had to really be thoughtful about how I put this on the sleeve. I put the t-shirt on, and then I held this ruffle at different lengths to see what would be most flattering to me. So I recommend that you do that before you glue it on. You might want your sleeves to be really long, or maybe you want them to be just about the size that a normal t-shirt would have. Or if you want to cut the sleeves shorter, you could do that too, and you could make it shorter. But so that was one thing, and then figuring out how to divide it in half and cinch it all up. And okay. All right, so here's our ruffle. Okay, And I think I measured, I hope my string is long enough. I always have problems. Okay, so I think I measured, and it was going to be 15 inches. That sounds familiar. So we're just going to measure from the end of this. Can you guys see where am I measuring from? And that will tell me how much I need to cinch it up. Okay, so there's 12 inches right there, and I need about this much more. Okay, let's measure again. We can adjust how ruffled they are in different places, but we just need to tie it off. It's still not enough. Okay, I'm going to say this is good. All right, so now we're just going to, and if it's not, we'll just tie a knot. We'll just fold one end under the other. So I'm just going to do a couple stitches here to make the cinch stay in place. Forgive my non-sewing vocabulary. I am always saying that I am a jack of all trades and a master of none, and that couldn't be truer than in the sewing department. I could not find my sewing kit today, so I was limited to either white or black thread. Okay, this is what we have. Isn't it cute? Now you could, on that peach colored shirt that I did the same idea with, that we stenciled, gosh, I don't know how long ago that was. We just did one piece of a jelly roll. So you could do 1, 2, 3, 10, whatever makes you excited. And the inside is gonna look a little messy, but you know, I'm the only one that's gonna see it. So I'm just looking to see how far from the bottom of the sleeve did I set my ruffle. Okay, and then I'm going to start pinning from underneath the arm just to get a few spots in place, and then I'll show you how we glued. I don't want it to go through both layers of my t-shirt. Oh, please. Okay, so that's about right. So when we did this project before, and I haven't cut this needle off yet because I'm going to use it at the very end. When we did this project before, is this going to work? Yeah, it's going to be perfect. Several of you guys showed me your projects. I'm feeling like that's too long compared to the other sleeve. Yes, it is. Let's move it up a little bit. Did this kind of idea, but you used your sewing machines. And, you know, the truth of it is that probably your t-shirts will outlive mine, but mine has been, the other one that I made, it's been washed twice already, and I just line dried it, and it's doing good, even though I just used fabric glue. Okay. So I'm just going to pin this down in a couple of spots. I hope this makes sense. This really was sort of a mind challenge for me to figure out how to do it with the 3 layers the first go around, and then how to explain it is even more difficult. I'm trying to get this turned around so I can see the side I'm working on. Here we go. 2 more pins. And then I'll show you what it looks like. I don't know, are you guys getting bored? I hope you aren't. I'm sorry, this is taking a little while. Can you imagine if I made you wait through the whole project? You'd be like, dang, this girl is slow. Okay, so I need 1 more pin right here. And seriously, don't fuss too much about getting it perfect. Just make it and enjoy it. Because I promise you, nobody's going to come up to you and want to measure your sleeves to make sure that they're exactly the same length or anything crazy like that. Okay, so I have it basically pinned on here, and then I still have the string down below, so I'm gonna attempt to pull these 2 ends together. And I'm gonna do a couple of stitches here. This is gonna be hidden underneath the armpit of this t-shirt. So I'm just cinching down that side, and then I'm gonna connect this side. Now I'm gonna try to pull these 2 together as close as I can get them. And when I glue it, it'll be fine. So you can probably really see that I am not a master at the sewing business. But you don't need to be. You really don't. That's why I love these kind of projects that don't require you to dig out a sewing machine or know how to operate one or anything like that. Okay, so I'm going to cut this off here. And let me see what you guys are saying, because I feel like I've been ignoring you for a while. Ooh, there's a lot of comments. Okay. Is it done on the underneath side? I'm really not sure what that question is asking. I'm sorry. I'm gluing it over the top of the sleeves. And I'm just gonna fiddle around a little bit with the ruffles. Those really don't matter. Okay, now what we need is something inside of our sleeve so that we don't glue the sleeve shut. And I'm just using parchment paper. I'll put that in my sleeve and then flatten it out as best I can. Okay, and then, whoops, ooh, I almost tipped my tripod over. Okay, so I just have shoved some of that parchment paper up into the inside of my sleeve. And I think I'm wanting some of these ruffles here to scooch down just a little bit. Okay, and then when I did the other sleeve, all I did, you guys, was, I think you can see, I lifted up the top part of the ruffle and I put glue right where the second layer is. Does that make sense? Can you guys understand what I'm saying? And then I just smushed it down, let it dry for an hour while I was out looking at fabric. And when I tried it on before I came live to see if I liked it, it's really cute. Okay, so let's get brave and just start. Why is this not wanting to come out? believe it or not, you can also look under the bottom part and add a little glue there too. But you won't be able to see any of this glue unless you're looking at the inside of your t-shirt. And then you can fiddle around with the ruffles to get them before it's all solidly attached how you want them. Okay? So I'll do one more section and then I'll say that that is basically it. If you guys decide to do one of these t-shirt projects with the ruffled sleeves, I would love to see pictures. And I don't know if you're already part of the crafting group that I set up called Dreamy DIY. But if you're not, you should hop over there and ask to join, and we'll say yes. We'll have you answer a couple questions just to make sure that you know that it's a crafting page. It's not a page to promote your own business or try to sell craft supplies or your projects or whatever, and that you won't post other crafters videos there. And then after you do that, we'll say, yes, come on. And we would love to see what you create. Okay. Let's see, do I need to do a little bit down here? Maybe just a teeny bit. This is one of those messy projects, which those are my favorite kind. Okay, I don't want to go too crazy with this, but you can see. It just needs a few hours to dry. I'll do the back of it. There's so many cute stencils at magnoliadiy.com. Let me talk for 1 second about what you need, because there's such a lot of confusion between whether you can use chalk, paste, or ink on things like t-shirts and pillows and tea towels. Okay, you have to use ink. Ink will become permanent after it's dry and you heat set it with a hot iron. Chalk paste is not permanent. And if you did, for example, if you did a pretty design on a pillow out of chalk paste and somebody leaned back against it and they had a little bit of moisture on their jacket, it's gonna be a big mess. And you know, it might get on your sofa or all over that person's clothes. Because it's not permanent. And I know I always talk about using that spray sealer, that clear matte spray sealer from Krylon, but I wouldn't trust that that's going to be sufficient to hold chalk paste on fabric. And also, it's not going to stay on through a wash. So you might not wash your pillow sleeves if they're for a sofa or something, but you're for sure going to want to wash your t-shirts, and you're for sure going to want to wash your tea towels. So you got to use ink, 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 ink. And they have some great colors. My two favorites obviously are white and black. That's what I tend to use all the time with ink. It comes in a little pot just like the chalk paste, but it says ink, okay? Right here. So make sure that you're using ink and not chalk paste. And I did pin a link to my website down below. It's http://magnoliadiy.com. So leave me your questions and feel free to sprinkle. And if you do this project, I would love to see it over at Dreamy DIY, or you can send me a picture of it. Send me a personal message of your t-shirt if you want, but it would be fun to share it with everyone else. And I have lots of good stuff coming up, so I hope that you'll join me tomorrow. I will take pictures of this, put it in the comments, and also put it on the page. Thanks for watching, you guys. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.